A very warm welcome from the Perth Hockey Stadium as the 2019 hockey season is underway, and we're very pleased to be bringing you live streaming of games from the Premier 1 grade in 2019 and also the women's competition. Well, it's been a really good start for our opening game as we see Victoria Park Xavier Hockey Club taking on Old Aquinians, both unbeaten in the opening game of the season. And before we got the action underway, we caught up with players from both sides. First of all, we hear from Ben Wright from Old Aquinians. Well, Ben, what a year 2018 proved to be for the club. A premiership and your player coach, Ian Smythe, winning the coveted Olympians medal. What does 2019 hold for the club?
Hopefully something very similar. I have to say, halfway through last season, when we were looking in the bottom half of the table, we weren't really thinking that we were going to achieve what we ended up doing. So we set ourselves of, trying to make finals with about 5-6 games to go. We were able to achieve that, and then the finals took care of itself. We got on a fantastic run, so that's something that we want to try and aim to achieve as well.
Obviously, looking at 2019, have you managed to keep the same squad together, or are there any new additions?
We've pretty much kept the squad together as it is from last year. We've had a couple of add-ins which haven't quite made round one for the first team, but they're definitely adding to squad depth, which is definitely adding value to the club as a whole. And in terms of our draft picks as well, we've kept hold of all of our Australian players as well. So we're not expecting them to play as much as are all of the other clubs because of the new Pro League this year, but it's great to have them on board for the first few rounds this season.
And how do you think the team is going to cope? Because this year you're going to be the hunted rather than being the hunters.
Yeah, that's right. Well, my short time of only being here for 3 seasons, little to know is that it's actually been, I think, 20 odd years since the last premiership. So it's been a while since we have been the hunted as a team. But like I said before, I think it's a challenge that we will definitely relish, but give ourselves the target of finishing in the top 5, which, winning a premiership doesn't mean you have to finish first in the table. So it's very much attainable for us to finish in that top 5, and then, as we know from last year, the momentum can hopefully kick in when final series comes around.
I'm sure there's a belief there. Can the team go back to back?
I mean, of course they can. Yeah, I'm sure there's some examples of AFL teams doing it, definitely from where I'm from Premier League teams doing it back to back. So we've kept the same squad, similar coaching lineup. So yeah, we're good to go.
Well, thanks for your time and all the best for 2019.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Well, Ben is not playing today. He's doing the assistant coach role from the side, but he will no doubt be hoping that Aquinas continue their winning ways in the season. Certainly they don't want to be unbeaten. But also before the match, we were able to catch up with a key player for Vic Park Panthers, and that is their captain, Brodie Saar. A disappointing season, I'm sure, as far as Vic Park were concerned, finishing 10th last year. Has the club made any changes in personnel for 2019?
Not necessarily changes, I guess. We're just trying working on some different things, I'd say. So we've got one guy who's come from Japan, but apart from that, no real changes, I'd say. So.
And where are the areas the team is looking to improve most on the park in the coming season?
Pretty much everywhere. We haven't done that well the last few years, so yeah, there's a lot of improvement all over, I'd say. So.
Do you feel that the competition, you've been playing in it for a while now, do you feel that the standard has gone up in recent years?
I'd say, I wouldn't necessarily say up, probably depth-wise, talent in the comp has probably come down, but then you've still got the guys who are another level. So yeah, I would say it's not necessarily gone up, but maybe back a little bit, if anything. So
really it's just a case of then the teams are much more evenly and more competitive, so it makes it really hard?
I'd say so, yeah. Yep, definitely.
Who do you see as the teams to look out for in 2019?
Got kind of the standards. Most years are the same. The UWAs, obviously Reds won it last year, so they'd be right up there. Waspies are always pretty good. So there's always, a bunch of people right at the top, and I'd say they're generally the same ones each year. So.
Are we likely to see Vic Park in the finals this year?
I hope so. We've got a lot of work to do before then. So as we've seen the last few years, our results haven't been the best. So hopefully we can build on that and see how we go.
Well, thanks, and we wish you all the best for 2019.
No worries. Thank you.
Well, once again, we'd just like to thank all our sponsors who've come on board for the season in 2019, and we will be giving them a plug throughout the season, and we hope that you can support them wherever possible. Well, the start of the match is just moments away. Welcome to Perth Hockey Stadium. It is the round 2 of the WA Premier Grade, and it is going to see Vic Park Panthers taking on Old Aquinians, the defending premiers from 2018. I'm Ashley Morrison, and we apologise that this is coming to you a little bit later. A few technical problems here at the Perth Hockey Stadium in Curtin University, but it is a beautiful day, not too hot, a nice breeze blowing across the ground. The sun is shining. And both these teams, with a victory in the opening round, are looking to continue their winning ways. You just wonder whether one of them will be disappointed in just over an hour's time. And of course, just a reminder that this year, this competition will be playing 15-minute quarters, and there will be a 5-minute break at half-time. Well, it will be Reds to get us underway. Just waiting for the clock to start. Blake Govers over the ball. He pushes back in his new shiny white shoes, and Aaron Zalewski goes backwards just to run through the Old Aquinian starting lineup. Ian Smythe, Xavier Jennings wearing 3, Daniel Robertson wearing 4, Adrian Lockley 5, James Winning 10, Remington Scott 14, Aaron Zalewski 17, Cameron Bunel 18, Hayden Walker 31, the goalkeeper, and Blake Govers 34. And a late withdrawal was Jeremy Hayward, who picked up an ankle injury in training with the Kookaburras yesterday. Vic Park's lineup, well, Jason Gabriel's wearing 1, Bradley Clark 2, Sasha Thomas 3. Matthew Dawson is across the face of goal. It comes from Gabriel, and out of play on the far side. Matthew Dawson from the Kookaburras wearing 6, Phil Hulbert 11, Brody Saar, the captain, wearing number 12, Dom Hurd, the goalkeeper, wearing 13, Jake Wetton, again one of the Kookaburras, wearing 15, Ian Bircher, former Kookaburra, wearing 18, James Collins 30, and Miyu Tanemitsu from Japan is their import player, and he's wearing 39. As we see Reds on the attack, free hit though given against them. Once again, I would like to thank the sponsors on board for this year: FMG, the new force in iron ore, Ausdrill bringing more to mining, Danks Furniture, Tiger Turf, and Kookaburra. And once again, we do apologise that there is an issue with the live stream, but you will be getting this game slightly later, as Tanemitsu just lets that one run over the sideline. So Lockley decides to leave the ball behind for Xavier Jennings. Jennings plays it back to player coach Ian Smythe, who of course won the Olympians medal in 2018. It was a fantastic year for Aquinas, their first premiership for 24 years. And Ian Smythe just rounding off a great year by winning the Olympians medal with the very last round of votes. So great achievement by him. As Zalewski plays it into the foot of Jason Gabriel. Plays on quickly. There's a good block coming in eventually from Brody Saar. And Smythe just lets that one run out of play. And that took a deflection off Saar, collected by Gabriel. Gabriel are going to be closed down, coming back by Tyson Edge. And Vic Park having to just move the ball around. That's good play by them. Bircher goes infield. Edge intercepting. Kept calm, and now Smythe put under pressure. by Sasha Thomas. Free hit, though, going the way of Reds, and now it's Robertson helps it forward into the path of Lockley. Lockley, a little bit of space into the circle, played it to the back post, but unfortunately no touch there from Blake Govers, and it goes harmlessly out for a 16-yard hit. So no goals as yet. And just a reminder, 15-minute quarters in 2019. Both these teams, as I said, winning their opening matches. Vic Park beating Hale 6-1. And Aquinas beating YM in a replay of the final 3-0. That would have done them the world of good and a huge boost to their confidence as they try to defend their title. Good pass forward now, picking out Jake Wetton. Jake Wetton getting a pair of goals in that opening game for Vic Park. Comes back now to Dawson. Dawson, it was a good pass and just took a touch off the Reds defender, so it goes out for a long corner for Vic Park. Jason Gabriel aware and just letting that one run out of play as James Collins over the ball now, just having to make sure he takes it from the right spot. Should mention the umpires as well for this game. Melissa Trivich and also John Carroll. Dawson trying to just feed that down the line and done very well. Brody Saar still going, gets to the baseline, tries to flick it back, was looking for a foot. A wild swing in front of goal. Again it comes in, falls to Saar. Good block and another wild swing. But it was low down and not deemed dangerous. So Reds a little bit fortunate maybe not to have given away a penalty corner there. Couple of wild swings coming from Xavier Jennings. So Aquinas keeping the ball. Zalewski cuts in from the right, closed down by, cuts in from the left. Gabriel found his foot though, and over the side it goes from Jason Gabriel. Zalewski back to Smythe. And that'll be cleaned up at the back again by Dawson. Just a touch off the foot, so it'll be a free hit to Vic Park on the 23-metre line. Comes infield now, James Collins, forced to go backwards. Out wide is Bircher. And Tyson Edge closing him down. Ball going off Edge's stick. Ian Bircher was part of the Kookaburras in 2009, played against the Netherlands and Malaysia. Said one of the greatest moments in his hockey career was receiving his Kookaburra shirt from Paul Godoyne. Of course, Paul Godoyne, a real legend of Western Australian hockey and current coach of the Hockey Roos. Lovely little bit of play wide from Jake Wetton. So it's a free hit from the side to Vic Park and just pushed a little bit too far ahead of Brody Saar, and over the baseline it went. Zalewski in space. He's going to get a pincer movement as Wetton got his stick and then kicked the ball after taking it away from Zalewski. Zalewski plays on. That was played onto the foot of Andrew Vaitakanis. Zalewski just flicking that one in the air and off the stick it goes of Matthew Dawson. No, it doesn't. Well, I thought that was off the stick of Dawson. It's deemed to have come off the stick of Adrian Lockley. A quick counter-attack coming again from Wetton. Oh dear, and that's a stick in the face. It was accidental. So Jake Wetton just being spoken to by the umpire. And Ian Smythe, looks like there's a little bit of claret from his mouth. Jake Wetton He's certainly not a dirty player, and I don't think that was deliberate. He just got his stick underneath Lockley's and just came up with it, and it seemed to catch Lockley in the mouth as they throw the overhead pass, and that was gone again out for a long corner off the stick of Lockley. Sasha Thomas leaves it behind, and coming forward now is Collins. Collins, that was well read. Good defensive play coming from James Cameron. Ball taken from the side from Tanamitsu. Collins again looking to cut infield, goes back instead to Ben Taylor. Taylor, of course, a danger from penalty corners, but we haven't had any as yet. Tanamitsu just dispossessed again by Cameron, and strong in the challenge, but won back brilliantly by Wetton. Free hit though goes the way of Reds. Smythe plays on quickly, plays it out to the right hand side. There's a good run coming forward from Robertson, but they decide to go back instead. You could see the idea there, but well intercepted by Jack Pampling, and good recovery coming from Luke Kavanagh to win possession back for Reds. Spins, gets it into the foot of Pampling. Smythe goes square. James Winning, and unfortunately over the side it goes off the stick of Kavanagh. James Winning, whose grandfather George of course had a long association with Wasps and Old Wesley. So it's a free hit now to Vic Park just outside the circle. A lovely little skip and into the circle it went, but good defence again from the player coach Smythe. Tanamitsu. And he was looking to try and play that off the foot of Remington Scott, but Scott kept his feet out of the way well. Dawson now sliding that one forward to Wetton. The two Kookaburras combining well. Wetton. That was just off the foot of Smythe, right on the edge of the circle. So not a first penalty corner just yet. Wetton again, self passes, ran the 5 metres before he went into the circle. Robertson should get that, combining with edge, but really strong defensive play coming from Ben Taylor. And now it's Tanamitsu. And he's found a foot there just outside the circle. And that was lifted as it was played into the circle by James Collins. Deemed dangerous, so free hit to Aquinas. So by my estimations, we've got about 5 minutes left in this first quarter. Robertson goes square. Just too narrow with the pass up the side, and over the side it goes. So Vic Park with the ball from the side. Not sure if you're picking up any of the flashing from the pitch side. I must admit the technical officer, his iPad is flashing in my face fairly regularly at the moment with the sun. Phil Hulbert goes back into the defensive line. Hulbert, again, one of the more experienced players in the Vic Park lineup. Aerial pass, just bouncing once away from Jack Pampling and over the baseline. And we've got 2 balls on the pitch for Vic Park. Oh, sorry, rather Aquinians, as Hayden Walker is about to get rid of that. Robertson just in the pocket. James Winning will receive the ball from his coach. Smythe now carrying up to halfway, looking to be closed down by Brodie Saar, and Hulbert lets that one run. Phil Hulbert played over 400 games for Vic Park, so season campaigner. Played his 400th game against Westside Wolves, the first game of the 2016 season. So he's getting closer now to 450. That's some record. Zalewski put under pressure by Brodie Saar. Zaluski wins the free hit, plays on immediately, looks to throw to the air. Deflected off the stick over the side by Pampling. Zaluski again. Of course, the worrying thing for both these teams is when the Australian players are recalled back to the national squad for the Pro League. Australia's next game will be against New Zealand on Anzac Day. So 2 minutes and a little bit more left in this first quarter. Good defence again from Vic Park, and they've earned a free hit, so they can breathe a little bit easier at the back. Trying to flick that one in the air, didn't really get any height, but it wasn't brought under control, and runs away from Sasha Thomas. Collected by Gabriel, good pass by him, surging into the circle, slipping as he went in, and a penalty corner awarded. Good work by Nick Corner. So the first penalty corner of the match goes to Vic Park. The clock stops, and we have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, and it gives me a chance to again thank some of our sponsors: Danks Furniture, proudly Western Australian, the Danks Difference, quality home furniture, and Tiger Turf, 3 different systems, unfilled, dressed and filled, and of course Kookaburra Hockey's #1 partnership. So Jason Gabriel making his way down to the baseline, and waiting at the top of the circle for Vic Park is Ben Taylor. He's at the second battery. Shane Benfill at the first. They go to Benfill. Benfill sweeps. Good save, but ricochets up off the goalkeeper. Dangerously so, a re-award. So will they stick with Benfill again? Gabriel just coming in and getting the instructions. So Bradley Clark doing the stopping for Shane Benfill. Taylor at the second battery. Looks like it will be Benfill again. It is. He sweeps it low. Another good save. The rebound comes back. That's a brilliant save. And unfortunately for Walker, his save after he'd made the initial save as he tried to clear the ball was again lifted in the air from his stick. So it's a third penalty corner now for Vic Park. Good spell of pressure by them. Good goalkeeping though coming from Hayden Walker at the moment. 23-year-old, originally from Albany. Out it comes. This time they go to Taylor. Taylor low, and it's another good save from Walker. Walker superb low down to his right-hand side. And just deflecting that out for a long corner. Brilliant save by the Reds keeper to keep them all square as we approach the first break in the match. Wetton played it in. It's going to be collected by Gabriel. Good strong defending again from Red. Zaluski. A little mistouch from him, but he managed to come up with the ball. Tanamitsu thought he'd won the ball fairly, but Zaluski got the decision from the umpire. Forced to go laterally, then dispossessed by Wetton. Wetton playing the ball forward, but absolutely nobody there for Vic Park, and it will run harmlessly out of play. It's been a real tussle in the midfield this match so far. I have to say that Vic Park have looked the livelier in the front third when they're attacking. Jake Wetton doing a lot of damage. Good steal again coming from Sasha Thomas. And just trying to break forward was Brodie Saar, but good defence again coming from Ian Smythe. Smythe collects the ball again. Forced to go back. Good work coming from experienced Hulbert, and a beautiful pass from Smythe. Now it's Robertson, co-captain, has a little bit of space, manages to find Lockley, and into the feet it goes. That was off the foot, off the stick of Blake Govers. Should be a free hit to Reds. It is indeed. Lockley self-passes, heads towards the baseline. Not sure he went the 5 metres, to be honest, but the clock is up, and that is the end of the first quarter. So no goals as yet here, as we have a 2-minute break, and the players can take on some refreshment. But the best passage of play really coming from Vic Park in that opening quarter, and great goalkeeping coming from Hayden Walker means we're all level at 0-0. Players making their way back out for the second quarter. No goals as yet in this round 2 match of the WA Hockey Premier Grade 1. Vic Park, who had a good win in the opening day of the season, looking to continue winning ways, but Reds also with a win. They'll be looking to do that. If you look back to the last year, the first meeting, it was 4-1 in favour of Reds over Vic Park, and then the second meeting, it was the other way around. It was Vic Park who won 4-0, so not surprising really that this match has been so tight as we're about to get the second quarter underway. Reds with the ball on halfway. Once again, we apologise that this is coming to you a little bit later than planned. We had a few technical problems with the live stream today. Brought down by Tanemitsu. Played infield. That was a very well played ball by him. Finds Brody Saar. Back to Tanemitsu. Tanemitsu goes one way then the other. Was impeded by Zalewski. Wasn't given the free hit. I think the advantage was played. He's got the ball back now. Played it square, but unfortunately was too far ahead of James Collins and goes out harmlessly on the far side. Catching the foot of Ian Smythe and not affecting play. So the call was play on. Had one of those recently in the Sultan Aslan Shah Cup where a penalty corner was awarded because the attacking player was running into the circle to put pressure on the defender. And the defending side was not too happy about it, but those are the rules. Good play coming from Matthew Dawson. Got the free hit. Looks to crack that one diagonally forward, and unfortunately for Vic Park, Gabriel couldn't get that under control. It's a good pass by Matthew Dawson to pick out Jason Gabriel. I'm sure there was a little bit of relief on the face of Luke Kavanagh as he missed the ball forward. Zalewski again, full of running. Comes wide now to Blake Govers. And the free hit goes the way of Vic Park. Of course, Blake Govers, what a final series he had last year. 7 goals in 4 games, including a hat-trick in the grand final that saw him awarded the Merv Adams medal. He was frustrated that he hadn't been taken to Darwin with the Kookaburras, and boy, what a response it was, as that's going to bounce forward. Kavanagh, though, watched it all the way. But certainly Blake Govers was a very key component in Reds' run from 5th spot all the way to the Premiership. And of course you can watch that grand final. It is on YouTube. And if you haven't seen it, it was a cracking game. Zalewski lurking out wide that time and played it into the foot of Brody Saar. Lovely pass to pick out Govers, top of the circle, shadowed all the way. Got it to Lockley across the face of goal. Well, should Remington Scott have been sliding in? One just wonders if he had, he might have got the opening goal of the match, but Lockley putting it across the face of goal. There was nothing that Hurd could do. He was closing down the angle from Lockley. Smythe again, reading that one and preventing the ball getting through to Wetton. Now it's Robertson. Daniel Robertson, 169 games for Reds. He's played for the Thundersticks, the WA side. It's picked up inside the circle, and this time good defending again from Vic Park. Sees them come up with the ball. Brody Saar in space in the midfield, pushes it into space, and well read by Gabriel. Gabriel looks up looking for Wetton. Wetton just delayed his run, collects on the 23-metre line. That was a really good tackle from Smythe to take the ball away from Wetton, and now it is Reds looking to attack. Govers collects, looks to turn, but is held up by Ian Bircher. Govers plays on, but the umpire's given the decision against him, much to his consternation. Shane Benfield dispossessed by Remington Scott, and it's just getting a little bit tetchy down there, so the umpire's just strong blast on the whistle from John Carroll just to calm things down. Robertson, that just came off his ankle, should be a free hit to Vic Park, not spotted by the umpires, or maybe they're playing an advantage, and it will go out over the side. So on halfway, it will be Red's ball. Played in by Xavier Jennings. Goes back to Smythe. Smythe pushes it out wide on the far side. Help down the line, and Robertson now looking to weave a little bit of magic, just taken away from him by Wetton. Wetton very busy as it's carried forward by Dawson. Dawson, though, will get the free hit. Now, we haven't seen any cards so far as we're about to enter the final 10 minutes of the first half. But you would have to say that I don't think there's one too far away unless things calm down. There's just some niggly things happening down on the pitch at the moment as Ben Taylor helps it forward into the path of Wetton. Wetton trying to cut infield, and he was chased all the way by James Cameron. Free hit being taken from the wrong spot, so Collins just having to take it forward a metre. Looking to slide that one in, but unfortunately for Vic Park, just catching the foot of Vaitakenis. Just the one Vaitakenis brother playing today, that is Andrew. Hayden is his brother, who was a fairly regular contributor for Vic Park in 2018. That's a brilliant steal by Lockley. But one back, and now there's a chance to break forward for Benfield. Benfield, though, prevented getting his pass into the circle by Smythe. One back by Wetton as Smythe went tumbling. Brilliant defence coming back that time by Zalewski. Lockley again looks up, tries to play the pass into the path of Tyson Edge, and it was well read brilliantly by Dawson, who just stepped forward and prevented the pass finding its mark. Zalewski. And Zalewski happy to let that one run over the side off the stick of James Collins, helps it forward. Cameron Bunel, who's back at the club. He was with Aquinians back in 2014 and moved back to Sydney. He's since got married, I believe, to a Western Australian girl. So that's why he's back in the West. Birdie Saar wins possession, goes back, and a little bit of space now for Mio Tanamitsu. Goes back to Saar. Dawson. Saar again with a good lead, but Zalewski waited. And in fact, the decision goes against Zalewski. Can hear the coaching staff of Reds upset with that decision. It's a beautiful day here at Curtin University, Perth Hockey Stadium, based here at the university, and they are very strong supporters of hockey, as you'd expect, but the Vic Park trying to play on quickly. Free hit going against them. Smythe stealing a good metre as he played that one forward and then pushes it straight over the baseline into the FIH Pro League signs, which are still here from the game against Great Britain. Both the Hockeyroos and the Kookaburras taking on Great Britain in the Pro League here in Perth and getting victories. Govers dispossessed. Good defensive work again coming from Ben Taylor. Taylor getting the ball over the sideline off the stick of Govers. Vaitakenis has got a lucky mistake he's able to pounce on. Looks to try and go infield past Xavier Jennings. Jennings, though, did enough to stop him, concedes the free hit, and Wetton comes across, stops the ball and will look to play on. He's waiting for support from his teammates. Goes on the reverse stick. That was into Smythe. Smythe looking at the umpire, wanting a decision. The decision came, but it didn't go his way. So Jake Wetton again looks to just play the ball down the outside along the baseline, but it's gone over the baseline from Dawson. Matthew Dawson, who of course had a fractured cheekbone last year in 2018, which put him in doubt for the Commonwealth Games, but made a recovery and wore a face mask and then Also had to have an operation on his hip, so I'm sure he's hoping 2019 will be injury-free. Comes wide now to Cameron. Cameron just getting underneath that one. So we're approaching the final 5 minutes of the first half. Certainly Hayden Walker in goal for Reds has been the busier of the two goalkeepers. Dom Hurd has just had one ball go flashing across the face of his goal. Comes off Tyson Edge and over the side. Tanamitsu forced back again. Good work by Tyson Edge. Thrown forward and Collins brought that down, but Lockley deemed to have come into that 5 metre space as Gabriel shoots, and it's a good save from Walker. Gabriel, real opportunism on the upright reverse. And luckily for Reds, Walker was alert. Stolen away brilliantly by Lockley. Collins not happy, chasing back now as Lockley looked to play the diagonal pass. Dawson read it though, manages to get it forward to Sasha Thomas. Thomas, well, he's still going. He's still going. Got past three Reds players. Eventually is awarded a free hit for his efforts as he was impeded. Comes to Collins again. Collins sliding it through the middle. That looked like it caught a foot. Play on, but penalty corner has now been awarded. So the fourth penalty corner for Vic Park. And once again, I can thank FMG, the new force in iron ore, and Ausdrill bringing more to mining for their support of this live streaming of the WA Hockey Premier Grade in 2019. So Gabriel making his way to the baseline. Dawson at the second battery. And waiting at the first is Mio Tanamitsu. Tanamitsu got one goal in their opening match, and he'll be looking to double that if he can. He's the favoured choice this time. Comes to him. It's not a great trap at the top of the circle. Tanamitsu, though, does well, and it's deflected away by Smythe in front of his goalkeeper. So Tanamitsu will be disappointed that it wasn't a good stop and he wasn't able to get a clean flick away. A little bit of pushing and shoving on the edge of the circle there from Sasha Thomas. But the free hit goes his way. And Dawson just lays it back now to Collins. Collins looks to get it into the circle. It's going to run all the way through to Tanamitsu. Tanamitsu, oh, lovely footwork from him. He's under pressure. He's still kept possession. Looking for the foot, missed the foot, and Dawson loses out to Smythe. And again, superb defending from last year's WA Player of the Year, the Olympian medal winner, Ian Smythe. One of the reasons why Reds went all the way last season. Short pass forward. Good strong pressure again coming in from Feta Kennis. As we have 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Still no goals as yet. Will it come down to fitness in the end? Robertson came back, did well to win possession, combined well with Lockley. Looking to play it into him was Tyson Edge and collided in the end with Bircher. So Vic Park ball on halfway. Lovely pass out wide. Gabriel keeps it in play well. Then advances along the baseline looking for a foot, not given. Long corner is given though. So Vic Park again with a chance to create an opportunity and maybe get a goal before the halftime break. Good defensive play, stepping out by Remington Scott, deflecting it over the side. Read that well. Remington Scott, though, had to watch that one, and it was lifted into the circle, so free hit goes to Reds. And Matthew Dawson has to jog back. Still a chance for one last attack. Zalewski and Gabriel come together, both looking at the umpire. Decision goes the way of Vic Park, though. And that's just smashed up the park by Bircher. I think I said Bircher came off. My apologies, it wasn't Bircher, it was Hulbert that came off a few minutes ago. Zalewski, lovely turn by him. Gets the better of Brody Saar. Free hit to Reds with 40 seconds left on the clock. Can they force a penalty corner? Well, Zalewski took that nowhere near where the free hit was awarded. It's deflected wide and chasing to try and keep it in play. But in fact, happy to let it run over the side and play on his Mark Pike. Robertson now looks to get it inside the circle, deflected over the baseline, long corner, 13 seconds left. They want the ball from the ball boy really, really quickly, Reds. We're into the final 10 seconds, needs to get it into the circle, has to go in now. Good defence, it's, oh dear, just wide. Well, that was not a bad effort at all, right on the whistle for half time. But it is no goals as yet in this match between the reigning premiers, Old Aquinians, and Vic Park Panthers. It is all tied up at 0-0 as we go into the half-time break, and some messages from our sponsors. Welcome back to the Perth Hockey Stadium. The second half of this round 2 match of the WA Premier 1 men's competition about to get underway between Vic Park Panthers and Old Aquinians. It's been a 0-0 in the first 2 quarters. Nothing to choose between the two teams, but you'd have to say Hayden Walker in goal for Reds has been the star in the first half. He's made some crucial saves from penalty corners and also open play. Whereas his opposite number, Dom Hurd, has been pretty much a spectator for most of the match. Just had one ball go whistling past the face of his goal, and it went harmlessly wide. Once again, we apologise that this is coming to you slightly later than the live stream. We have had a few technical issues here, and sometimes technology can let you down when they change things, but hopefully you will still enjoy watching this live stream of the games, even if it is at a slightly later date. Once again, we'd like to thank Tiger Turf. 3 different systems, unfilled, dressed and filled, on all meet the Federation of International Hockey's performance standards. Also Kookaburra, hockey's #1 partnership, and of course FMG, the new force in iron ore. Ausdrill, bringing more to mining, and Danks Furniture, proudly Western Australian quality home furniture. All of these sponsors making the live stream of games throughout 2019 possible. Well, the umpires are out, so too are Vic Park. We're just waiting for Reds to make their way out, and they're just taking a little bit longer at the moment, so the 5-minute break, I think, is, well, maybe they want 10 minutes. Certainly we've gone past the 5 minutes. Could be that Jeremy Hayward, who is down on the bench today, unable to play, is just finishing his half-time inspirational speech to get everybody fired up. And they are giving the hurry up now. And of course it is Vic Park to start the second half, so if Aquinas aren't out there, the umpires have every right to let them start and continue. And that's probably why Hayden Walker was the first player out there inside his circle. So are we going to see a winner? It's quite surprising. We had 40 goals in the first 6 matches. So plenty of goals in the opening round. None so far in this match. Maybe it will rain goals in the second half as Dawson's pass on the reverse just running too far ahead of Jake Wetton. So averaging 6.6 goals a game in the opening round as Brody Sarr looked to steal that. The whistle very late in coming, but it eventually does come, and it's a free hit to Reds. Going to Ian Smythe, of course, who started his hockey over in Victoria with Greensborough and Moorabbin, who've now become Southern United, and they merged with Sandringham. And of course they actually have the Japanese international Manabu Yamashita playing for them, made his way straight to Melbourne after the Sultan Aslan Shah Cup to go and play with Southern United, who won their first premiership last year. Robertson trying to steal it away. He's done very well, nicking it off Collins. Good pass inside the circle, trying to create some space, avoiding the feet. Very good work coming from Hulbert. Years of experience there from Phil Hulbert. And Blake Govers. Tyson Edge come running in, but free hit will go. It was off the back of Govers' stick as he went to try and play that one, and that's scooped up in the air. It'll be brought down well by James Cameron. He was looking for the run of Edge up ahead of him. Dawson. Again, Wetton running into that space, but just the bobbling ball bouncing over his stick and between his legs and out of play. There were only 2 teams that kept clean sheets in the opening round, and one was Reds and the other was Westside Wolves. Westside Wolves winning 7-0 against North Coast Raiders. Lovely pass again to Gabriel. Gabriel looking to slide it across the circle. Robertson was back there. Played forward by Bircher. Dawson. Oh, he did well to get the better of Lockley there. So danger again for Reds. Top of the circle. Just a mistrap from James Collins, but keeping possession. Good work again coming from James Winning, who didn't panic and managed to find his teammate. Pushing that one a long way forward, but good work from Bradley Clark. Saw Vic Park collect again. Chasing hard is Brody Sarr. Should keep that one in play. In fact, it just gets the better of him. So Zalewski, south pass in a battle with Wetton. Zalewski has to come wide, and Robertson loses out this time to Sasha Thomas. That was a really good tackle again. Coming in defensively, saving Robertson's blushes. So 2 really good tackles from Xavier Jennings. Was it a penalty corner? No, it's a free hit being given to Reds. They wanted the penalty corner, but unfortunately they didn't get that. Tyson Edge now does play it into the feet once more of Bircher. Just leaving that behind now for James Cameron. Cameron self passes. Deflection was a good one from Govers. Well, fighting to try and win that back was Remington Scott, but wasn't in the end given to him. Miyu Tanamitsu goes to the air, watched all the way. Good work from James Cameron. He got back quickly. Wetton, lovely little flick, and Cameron gets the touch, but it still manages to come down to Gabriel. Gabriel back to Wetton. What a pass from Jake Wetton, beautifully read across the face of goal, and that is some defensive tackle when it looked as if it must be a goal. And that is the captain putting his body on the line, Daniel Robertson. He came running back. Will be a long corner. He's back on his feet. So another really good chance for Vic Park, and you just wonder how many more of these they're going to have to create before they open the scoring. Or are they going to get caught? Just trying to deflect that one into the circle was Benful, but didn't get past the first defender. A little shove in the back as Mark Pike hits the turf. Zalewski now, south passes. Lockley looks to try and turn inside Ben Taylor, managed to keep possession. Govers, lovely spin by him, he's cut possession. And Govers, what a finish! Well, Blake Govers hasn't had much to do, but when the ball came to him, he turned superbly in the circle and then unleashed a reverse stick shot that really gave Dom Hurd no chance. And Blake Govers opens the scoring for Reds. And finally, we have a goal. So 6 minutes into the second half, and Blake Govers continues his goal-scoring ways for Reds. Got 2 goals last week in their 3-0 win. Here he comes again, just dropping the pass off. So if you look at the 7 goals in the 4 finals games, 2 last week is 9 in 5 games. Make that 10 in 6 games for Blake Govers for Reds. In their last 6 games, 10 goals. That is a pretty good return. And when you consider he's still only 22 years of age, and he has 64 international goals as well for the Kookaburras. Prolific goal scorer. So now it's up to Vic Park to find a way back into this match. Winning intercepts that one, feeds it forward to Daniel Robertson. Robertson closed down by Wetton. Lockley helping out in defence. Kavanagh helping it forward. Dawson, that's a very good pass to pick out Brodie Sark. That was well read again in the defence from Xavier Jennings. Jennings having a really strong game at the back for Reds. I'm sure he's learning a great deal playing alongside Ian Smythe. So the ball just going out of play. Xavier Jennings actually went to Aquinas. He was leading goal scorer at the club in 2009. So obviously must have been playing a little bit further forward than he does these days. So Zalewski just making way, having a breather. Cameron Bunel coming on and replacing Zalewski. Bunel with the red hair. Easy to spot. As his birthday coming up on the 24th of April, Cameron Bunel. A good turn and pass from Hulbert, but good defence again from Reds. Determination to keep possession from Pampling. But he loses out eventually to Lockley. Lockley looking to play the pass forward. It's a good one into the path of Bunel. Bunel gets the free hit, forcing the foul from Sasha Thomas. Just a little bit of confusion as to where the free hit's from. James Winning plays it forward. Into the circle goes Bunel. Bunel will be looking for a penalty corner, but really good defence again from Vic Park, and then that was just lifted too high by Luke Kavanagh. Well read again. Well, Xavier Jennings coming across as That ball was about a drop for Jake Wetton. And now Wetton has the ball. He's managed to get past Lockley. Coming together there. Smythe comes up from underneath Jake Wetton, and the free hit awarded to him. Ball out wide now to Luke Kavanagh. A good blend of youth and experience in both these teams. And Jake Wetton frustrated with himself that he didn't manage to get that one under control. The deflection forward, not a bad one, but picked up again by Vic Park, and breaking forward now is Dawson. Bunnell. Bunnell claiming that Matthew Dawson was shielding the ball with his stick, and therefore he couldn't make the tackle fairly. Umpire disagreeing and feeling it was a stick check. So James Collins now advances. Bunnell giving chase. Collins, one hand on the stick. Really good tackle coming in from Ian Smythe. Long corner though to Vic Park. Over the ball for them again is Hulbert. Hulbert self passes, happy to go backwards to Dawson. Govers applying pressure. A chance now for Vic Park as they push it wide. They've got numbers inside the circle, just laid back now. Can they get the ball in? Sasha Thomas was trying hard and he's dispossessed, and it's only half cleared, just to the 23 metres. In it goes, and a shot on the turn as he was falling away. Walker comes out to get it away from Wetton, but Hulbert's shot was struggling to get towards the goal, and eventually the ball just goes out of play, and it will be a 16 to Reds. So we've got just under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. The deadlock broken by Blake Govers. A bit of individual brilliance from him at the top of the circle, turning and firing off a reverse stick shot to give Reds the lead. Now Robertson, oh, he just needed to get his stick on that to bring it under control. Instead, he let the ball run, and it ran away from him. So both teams just running through the substitutions, because obviously still have interchange. And just a reminder that 2019 Hockey WA playing the competition in 4 quarters of 15 minutes with 5 minutes half time. Zalewski, he just got the better there of Collins. Into the circle it goes, and eventually cleared. Bircher doing well initially, but Aquinas still having the ball in the attacking zone as Robertson goes head to head and is dispossessed by Ben Taylor. It'll be a long corner. Zalewski waiting for the ball. It comes to him. Bunnell just ahead of him. Zalewski self passes, instead pushes the ball wide to James Cameron, who just let it go over the side, so coughs up possession cheaply. So the ball thrown to the air, brought down well by Cameron. And then encroaching into that space was James Collins. Oh, that's a great pass, and unfortunately Tyson Edge put his shot wide of Dom Hurd's goal. Hurd, credit to him, coming off his line brilliantly. Edge taking the shot first time, but he didn't even hit the target. Well, that would have just given Reds a little bit of a buffer going into the final quarter. 2-0, always a much healthier position than 1-0. Again, James Cameron in space. He's managing to find plenty of space on the pitch. James Cameron. Sasha Thomas closed down, and the ball deemed to have taking a final touch off of his stick. Zalewski scanning as he receives the ball, finds Robertson. Robertson just pushing the ball forward into the path of Mark Pike. Good tackle coming in from Tanamitsu. We're entering the final minute now of the third quarter. Can Reds force a penalty corner? Not with a trap like that, unfortunately. Cameron just taking his eye off the ball at the vital moment. Matthew Dawson may just throw the aerial. Instead, no, he goes infield. And Bircher goes on the diagonal pass to Tanemitsu. It was almost like a hopeful touch in the middle there, but it was actually a very, very good touch coming from Sasha Thomas. Ball ricochets up in the air. It'll be a Vic Park free hit just outside the circle. Sasha Thomas over the ball, decides to leave it in the end for James Collins. They can glance up at the clock behind that goal. Comes back to Bircher. Bircher tried to drill that one down the middle. Went into the shins of Tyson Edge. Good defensive play by Edge because it's eaten up time. Bircher now plays it in. There is a deflection top of the circle, but it's one that takes it away from the circle. It comes from Luke Kavanagh. And that's lifted dangerously on the reverse stick from Matthew Dawson. And that is the end of the third quarter. Well, the deadlock has been broken. Blake Govers with a little bit of magic on the left-hand side as Reds attacked the Vic Park goal, and on the reverse stick firing home past Dom Hurd. So as we go into the final break, it is Vic Park 0, Old Aquinians 1. Well, the sprinklers are on and just dampening down the pitch just to put a nice little sheen so that the ball will move a little bit quicker. Final quarter of this Premier 1 men's competition round 2 match between Victoria Park and Old Aquinians about to get underway. Reds, as they're known, the Old Aquinians leading by 1-0. Can they hang on to that lead and remain unbeaten in this, the second game of the season? If you look at the league ladder, it was Wolves, Curtin, Vic Park, Melville, Fremantle and Aquinas who were all unbeaten after round 1. Well, Vic Park are going to have to dig deep. They've had plenty of opportunities in this match. They just need to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal, and they've got to find a way past Hayden Walker, a man who started his career down at Many Peaks Hockey Club down in Albany. So it will be Vic Park to get us underway in this final 15 minutes. Phil Hulbert plays the ball back to Dawson. Can Vic Park get something out of this match, or are Reds going to keep their momentum that they took into the finals in 2018 going all the way into 2019? There's certainly, you can see there's a belief about the way they're playing as Robertson, the new captain, finds Blake Govers. Robertson continues his run. Govers on the reverse, look, hits it low. What a deflection. Well, Zalewski gets the final touch, but Govers involved again, and it is now 2-0 to Aquinas, and a really good start to the final quarter. So Robertson to Govers, Govers out wide on the reverse stick, hit it low in front of goal, and a deflection to Zalewski. So Aquinas now with a 2-goal cushion, just what they wanted. And can you believe that that was in the first minute of the final quarter? And the good news for the coaching staff is they haven't conceded as yet in 2019. Square ball is a good one. Lovely turn from Lockley, looking to feed Robertson, but it was well read by Bircher, played out. And good, again, defensive awareness coming from Luke Kavanagh. Sasha Thomas has been very busy for Vic Park. Good pass from him, finds Gabriel in space. Gabriel Well, he's got to get past Kavanagh. Kavanagh snapping like an annoying dog at his ankles, stealing the ball away. And there's a few words being exchanged off the ball now between those two players. And that was a good ball to Brodie Sarr. It's a penalty corner being conceded by Jennings. And so Vic Park have the chance now with their 5th penalty corner to find a way past Walker and give themselves a bit of a lifeline. They get one now. There's still 13 minutes left in this final quarter. So Gabriel again makes his way down to the baseline. Miu Tanamitsu waiting at the top of the circle. I believe he goes by the name of Barry. Not quite sure why that is, but I'm sure we'll find out before the end of the season. Comes out though, it's Dawson that sweeps low. Walker saves and Lockley's there to try and sweep it clear, but so too was Thomas. And in the end it's going to be a long corner to Vic Park. They look to play on quickly. Lovely pass to Dawson. Well read though by Robertson, and he just knocks it past Collins. Tries to advance onto it. Did very well, Daniel Robertson, but coming back was Dawson to steal it away from Zalewski. Brodie Sarr now on the ball, coming together are the two captains. Collins again looking up to see what's available. In fact, it was Tanamitsu, my apologies. So high press coming from Vic Park, and Tanamitsu saying it hit him on the hip. Well, it may well have hit him on the hip, but he was almost down on one knee when it hit him on the hip. So I think the umpire absolutely right that that wasn't too high. And that again, just taking a slight deflection. Zalewski saying, leave it to me, I'll play on from the side. Zalewski, captain of the Kookaburras these days, shares the role, but seems to have revelled in it. Good pass again. Robertson though just having to check and slide and keep it in play now, and then eventually he just took it over the side. And we have the first card of the match issued for a challenge higher up the park. Just trying to see who it was who collected that. It was in fact awarded to Bradley Clark. So Clark with 2 minutes on the side for the green card. And Vic Park down to 10. Dawson was closed down as minute he played that by Remington Scott. Good work by Scott. And the pass again just played up the field and out of play, and Smythe wanting to get on with things quickly while Vic Park is still sitting deep inside their own half. The only player forward was Gabriel. James Winning pulls wide but goes back to Smythe from Kavanagh. Lockley was trying to just deflect that one down the line, but too far ahead of James Lee. Good pass now to Govers. Blake Govers accelerates forward. Beautifully timed tackle from Bircher. Bircher turning back the clock, of course. He was brought into the Kookaburras squad as a replacement for Bevan George, who retired. And that would be a tackle that Bevan George would have been very proud of. Now it's Gabriel, though, bursting forward. Wetton, a little bit of space, plays it in front of goal, looking to try and turn and fire a shot away. Lost possession. And looking up to the skies, Andrew Veitekenis. Well, he had it on a plate there, but unfortunately his control let him down. And there's a little bit going on off the ball, I think, between Luke Kavanagh and Veitekenis. Just the umpire having a talking to. No cards issued, so Brodie Sarr from the side. I'm pleased to say that Vic Park are back to their full quota of 11 now, so the 2-minute suspension served as the ball is just kicked out and cleverly played onto the foot again. Good work by Bircher. And Bircher cracking that one the length of the pitch. Watching it all the way was Hayden Walker, making sure it didn't ricochet off his post and stay in play. Govers again. Little pass from him, looking to feed Lockley, but there to clean up again was Hulbert. Wetton trying to burst forward. Govers comes back and dispossesses him and manages to find Zalewski. Good turn. Bunel being busy. Tanamitsu looks for the umpire, doesn't play the whistle, and Bunel steals it away from him. And now Tanamitsu hassling Zalewski. Decision goes Zalewski's way. Tanamitsu, who played at the Junior World Cup in 2016. And that will be a free hit. The ball just ricocheting up off Phil Hulbert. He lost it for a second. Phil Hulbert, I should mention, two-time Olympian medal winner, which is the fairest and best in Western Australian hockey, and a very prestigious award. So there's a man that's won it twice. That's pretty special. 2006, 2011. On the ball now. Bircher. Can Vic Park find a goal? Just under 8.5 minutes left. Wetton, he'll certainly go looking. And that's a very good tackle coming in from Luke Kavanagh. He's been penalised though, and he's asking what for. I thought it was a clean tackle. Certainly the coaching staff below us thought the same for Reds. So Bircher slides one in, Wetton on the reverse, and there is the goal they were looking for. Vic Park back in this match with just under 8 minutes left. Jake Wetton deserving that goal for his endeavour throughout the match. Really good finish for him. So now we have the momentum for a really big finish. 2-1. Vic Park, who have done most of the attacking throughout the match. Govers though self-passes and surges up the centre of the pitch, forced across the pitch in the end by Tanamitsu. So can Reds hang on, or can Vic Park find an equaliser? Robertson comes back. You do feel the more experienced players for Vic Park are going to be the key. Setting off now, Veitakenes, who was so close to getting that first goal. Combining with Wetton. Wetton gets the ball from the side. Just a little touch takes it back into play. Taylor, and a few upturned palms from his players ahead of him as his pass was misdirected. Sasha Thomas not too happy, the man from Narrabeen in the Australian, or the West Australian wheat belt. Sasha Thomas, 21 years of age. So just leaving that behind was Jennings for Smythe, and that was straight into the foot of Thomas, and playing on is Smythe. Jennings drops back to cover the player coach as his pass to the near post was the right idea, but unfortunately Tyson Edge was waiting at the back post, and that's a great pass again to pick out Jake Wetton. So Wetton now just checking back. Wetton, lovely 3D skills as he lifted the ball in the air, and a penalty corner awarded. Well, Reds feeling that was a little bit harsh, but foul outside the D, deemed to have been a professional foul. So the penalty corner awarded, and Vic Park with a really good chance to get an equaliser. Just under 6 minutes left in the match. So again we see Mio Tanamitsu lining up at the first battery, Matthew Dawson at the second battery. So can Vic Park get an equaliser? Comes out, they go to Tanamitsu, and it's wide of the left-hand post. Certainly got plenty of pace on that, but unfortunately for his teammates, it was off target. Hayden Walker just moving over to the left-hand side and just watching it rebound back off the advertising hoardings. Mio Tanamitsu, who played in a game at the Junior Asia Cup, I remember it clearly, where Japan just needed a draw to avoid Korea in the semi-finals, and won a penalty corner there, and they deliberately missed it. They fired it so wide, I can't remember whether it was actually him or whether it was his teammate. That's a good ball into the circle, but well defended by Reds, and Smythe just pushing it wide, kept in play well by Mark Pike. Pike in turn feeding it to Govers. Govers looking to go round Dawson. Dawson giving chase. Govers to the baseline. Govers all the way in, just checking back, and strong tackle coming in the end from Tanamitsu. It will be a long corner to Reds as we've got 4.5 minutes left. Govers, well, he's put plenty of pace on that, and it deflected though off the defender. Robertson was trying to get a touch, so a long corner directly opposite where the ball went out of play, so it should be right in front of the goal. Lockley comes back to Jennings. Jennings, his pass is blocked well by Brodie Saar. Lockley again, but nobody in that area for Reds. Both Edge and Pike had just moved back into the top of the circle. Played forward this time by Bradley Clark. And there's a battle again going on in the midfield between Lockley and the combatives. Sasha Thomas. Xavier Jennings finds Govers again. Govers with 2 players ahead of him managed to pick out Robertson, and penalised is Ben Taylor. Govers plays on quickly. Taylor recovering is going to get a card. And a green card, so Vic Park down to 10 men with 3.5 minutes left, so they'll have 1 minute with their full quota of players. Aquinas looking to take advantage, and it was played in, and Govers, he just took it away from Tyson Edge, who was sliding in. Gives a thumbs up to Zalewski. Smythe watched that one all the way. Gabriel was coming in around the back of him. Not sure he would have got on the end of it, but Zalewski now carrying forward, combining well with Adrian Lockley once more. And a free hit going the way of Reds. Dawson this time wanting to enter a conversation with the umpire, knows that time is against them. As Zalewski just pushes it wide, Lockley looks up. That's come up off the Vic Park stick, so it'll be a free hit to Aquinas. Wide again, Lockley and Zalewski there. Brodie Saar just having to retreat the 5 metres. Of course, the ball has to travel 5 metres before it goes in the D, and that was back to Zalewski, and now there's a chance for a counter-attack from Vic Park. They need to keep possession. They're a player down. Diving, but that's a really good ball, and now a chance for Jason Gabriel. Good covering defence. Very good play in the end coming at the back for James Lee. It was who got the final touch, and he needed to, and unfortunately for Vic Park, missed trap again has seen them concede possession, and it will be Reds to play the ball out from the back. Not surprising, a high press now from Vic Park. Smythe finds Robertson. Robertson just cuts infield. It's all about keeping possession now for Aquinas, as that took a little touch off the stick of Wettens. Well, no, it didn't, according to the umpire. Robertson seemed pretty sure, or maybe he was trying to bluff the umpire, because he certainly did a good job of bluffing me. So Dawson carries forward to the 23-metre line. Just a little touch from Smythe, top of the circle, then played into the foot of Dawson by Lee. And Vic Park, with just over a minute left in the match, have decided to pull their goalkeeper, so they have an extra player, outfield player at the moment. I think they're back to their full 11 now. They are indeed. So of course today, goalkeepers taken off. There are no goalkeeping privileges to an outfield player. So it is 11 outfield players. Time is running out. We're into the final minute. Bircher goes back to Bradley Clark. He plays it out wide. Tanamitsu drills that one forward. Desperate defending once more from the player coach Smythe. Well, that's just how much it means to him winning games he really does lead from the front. And I suppose if the coach is putting his body on the line, he can expect all the players around him to do the same. We're into the final 30 seconds rather. Matthew Dawson looks to slap that one forward. It's a good pass and picked at Tanemitsu. Tanemitsu on the edge of the circle. He's into the circle. Looks for a foot. Finds a penalty corner. Celebrations from the Vic Park players. And that is their 7th penalty corner of the match. So far, Reds have yet to win a single penalty corner. 13 seconds left on the clock. Surely Vic Park can't snatch a point now. Well, it was good play by Mio Tanemitsu. And you have to say it was a very good pass from Matthew Dawson to pick him out on the far side of the circle. Jason Gabriel makes his way down to the baseline. And Tanemitsu, the man who created the penalty corner, waits at the top of the circle at the first battery. Dawson at the second. Comes out, goes to Tanemitsu. This time he gets it on target. Good save from Walker. Well, it wasn't Walker. It was the postman, so a penalty stroke has been awarded. No complaints from Reds. It was James Winning. I think he was the man on the line that the ball struck. So more drama at the end of this match as Vic Park, with 6 seconds left on the clock, have a penalty stroke. And Matthew Dawson makes his way forward to take on Hayden Walker, who's had a really good game in goal for Reds. So it's Dawson v Walker. Can Walker be the hero? The whistle goes, Dawson sweeps and he scores. Well, he flicks to the keeper's right. Walker went the right way, but Dawson has managed to tie things up with 6 seconds left on the clock. And you'd have to say that Vic Park probably deserved a share of the spoils the way they played. Well, there's a little bit of a debate going on. Well, there's a debate going on down below us with the technical officer and the umpires. I think they're saying that time is up. Although we are looking for a result now as we go into 5 minutes, I think, of extra time. So Govers launches that one high. And in fact, no, we're not. The clock showed 4:45, 5 minutes, confusing everybody, but that is in fact time as the ball was played forward by Blake Govers. And Vic Park, well, they left it very, very late, but they did get a share of the spoils and probably deserved it with the amount of opportunities they created. Hayden Walker a little bit unlucky to, in the end, concede a second from a penalty stroke. But it was Blake Govers who opened the scoring in the 36th minute with a brilliant finish on the reverse stick. He then set up Aaron Zalewski to give Reds a 2-0 lead in the 46th minute after good work from Robertson. And then it was a fight back for Vic Park, with Jake Wetton getting the first goal for them in the 52nd minute, and then sealing things up with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Matthew Dawson firing home from a penalty stroke after the ball was stopped on the line by James Winning from a penalty corner. So the final score here is Vic Park 2, Old Aquinians 2.